You've seen him stalking the sidelines. That's his vocation. And now, after leading his Giants to their second Super Bowl triumph, Bill Parcells is handsomely rewarded. Where you may not have seen him lurking is just beyond the ropes. This is his avocation. And the rewards Bill Parcells finds within the nuances of the sweet science transcend the financial realm.
My father was very interested in boxing. He worked in New York all his life. I used to watch the Friday night Gillette fights. He would take me occasionally to a fight in the old Madison Square Garden. The big name in New York then, I think that all of us identified with, was Chico Vijar, because he was really a television product. And then, of course, there were some guys over here in Jersey, Vince Martinez, who wound up winning the welterweight title, and then Sugar Ray Robinson used to train out at Pompton Lakes, which wasn't too far from my home, and you know, once in a while, one time I went up there. I'm a fan of the same things that probably all fight fans are: courage, intestinal fortitude, the ability to come back, determination. I'm not awed by skill. I've been around athletes all my life, so the tremendous athletes, the Lawrence Taylors and the Muhammad Alis, and those guys, the ability doesn't awe me.
Courage, determination, and fortitude. Aren't these the same attributes one needs to be an all-pro in the NFL? If so, Coach, how would Iron Mike Tyson do?
Well, I think it would be difficult for him because Mike Tyson's not very tall, and I've never seen him run, and speed is such a prerequisite. Now, power and quickness and all those elements he obviously has, and determination, and I mean, he's a guy that, you know, I, along with many other people in New York, have watched since the inception of his career. So I have an admiration for him as I would any other fighter, but I don't know enough about his other skills to know whether he would play football. I think he'd probably choose to remain in boxing. He's doing a lot better there.
While we know of no boxers who have ever crossed over into the football realm, there have been several gridiron stars who have tried to learn the boxing ropes. The most famous is former Dallas Cowboys All-Pro Ed Too Tall Jones. Why couldn't such a superior athlete cut it in the ring?
I just don't think he could develop the skills necessary. The innate talent's there, but you know, these fighters that are good have been fighting since they were very young, and what's natural to those guys and instinctive to those guys in their profession is a learned mechanical procedure on the part of someone else.
A lesser-known football star is Derek Eisenman. The former All-America linebacker from Ohio State has given up a potential career in the NFL to concentrate on boxing. According to Eisenman, football's dreaded two-a-day training camp workouts are nothing compared to his daily regimen in the gym.
I've had fighters around my team. Buddy McGirt's been around my team. Michael Olajude's been around my team. And I think the fighters are surprised by how hard the football players work, too. I think once you're used to a routine where a fighter gets up in the morning, does his road work, then goes to the gym and does something, and it's an established process for him, you acclimate to it, your body acclimates to it. Much as playing football, a guy gets up, it's two-a-days, he's practicing, it's hot, it's physical, then he has to come in and lift weights, and I think they acclimate to it, and I think it's very difficult for someone to acclimate to another athletic or endeavor in a short period of time, and I think that's why maybe someone would say, well, training to be a fighter all of a sudden is more difficult than something that you're used to doing.
Bill, I know there's a lot of talk about your career right now and what you're going to do. Would you ever consider being a boxing promoter or a boxing manager?
Oh, I don't think promoter, but...
Manager?
I don't know. I don't really have the expertise. I would be out of my area. I think
But you know business and you know people.
I think I know business. I think I could help. I think maybe I could help train a fighter, maybe.
That's interesting.
In some ways. I mean, I think my eye would be trained to see things in boxing that the average fan would not see. Because I'm used to seeing things in other athletic events that I think the average fan would not see. I can tell when a fighter's struggling, even if it's not apparent. I'm able to sense stamina, endurance, even before it's obvious. But I think that's something that's been developed over my coaching. You know, you learn to look for those things in your opponent and in the opposition. And I think it's something that becomes readily apparent to me a little quicker than some other people.
Gil, a moment ago, we heard Bill Parcells intimate that if he came back in a second lifetime, he would consider being a trainer. Well, how do you think he would do?
Well, he has a lot of pluses going for him. He's been around athletes all his life. Yes, he can tell if a guy's hurt. He can tell if a guy's tired. He can really detect a guy's heart. But to be a good boxing trainer, it takes years in the gymnasium to pick up the little techniques, the little nuances. If he started early enough, he'd probably be a great trainer.
But still, that Clancy Parcells team has a nice ring to it.
Not for me, Bruce. I'm finished with training.
Right now, let's take a look at the upcoming May fight calendar.